Hello everyone, welcome back to MediPlus Ebu. In today's video, I'll be teaching you about the ulnar nerve. The ulnar nerve is most commonly known as the musician's nerve, since it is involved in the fine movement of the fingers. The ulnar nerve, as we have discussed earlier in the video of brachial plexus, originates from the medial cord and has a root value of C8 to T1. The ulnar nerve sometimes also takes supply from the C7 spinal nerve root. Here, in this diagram, we can see that the ulnar nerve originates as the terminal branch of the medial cord, which in turn is formed by the anterior division of the inferior trunk. Now, let us take a look at the course of ulnar nerve. The medial cord in the axillary region gives off two terminal branches. First, the medial part of the median nerve, and second, the ulnar nerve. Here, we will be concerned with the ulnar nerve. The ulnar nerve in the region of arm will pass between the brachial vessels, that are the brachial artery and the brachial vein. Here, as we can see that the ulnar nerve lies medial to the brachial artery, whereas it lies lateral to the brachial vein. While descending downwards from the upper part of the arm, it travels along with the branch of the brachial artery, that is the superior ulnar collateral artery. Both the superior ulnar collateral artery and the ulnar nerve will pierce the medial intermuscular septum at the insertion of the coracobrachialis muscle and will move posteriorly to the arm region near the medial epicondyle. The dotted lines in the diagram represent the posterior view of the ulnar nerve and the superior ulnar collateral artery. Now, let us take a look at the posterior view of the elbow joint. Here, the superior ulnar collateral artery along with the ulnar nerve will pass through the cubital tunnel. The cubital tunnel is an important anatomical structure formed by the medial epicondyle, the ulnar collateral ligament, and the two heads of flexor carpi ulnaris, that are the humeral head and the ulnar head. After passing through the cubital tunnel, the superior ulnar collateral artery will get involved in the anastomosis of the elbow joint, whereas the ulnar nerve will continue its path further. In the forearm, the ulnar nerve will supply the medial half of flexor digitorum profundus and the flexor carpi ulnaris. Here, we can also say that the ulnar nerve is supplying only one flexor muscle of the superficial group of the forearm, that is the flexor carpi ulnaris, whereas all the other muscles are supplied by the median nerve. Now, let us move forward and take a look at the course of ulnar nerve. The ulnar nerve will give off two branches, that are the palmar cutaneous branch and the dorsal cutaneous branch. The palmar cutaneous branch originates at the middle part of the forearm from the ulnar nerve, and it will supply the skin over the hypothenar eminence, that is skin near the region of little finger, whereas the dorsal cutaneous branch of the ulnar nerve originates 7.5 cm before the wrist, and it will give supply to the medial part of 2.5 region of dorsum of hand. Now, let us move forward and take a look at the branches of ulnar nerve in the hand. The ulnar nerve will travel along with the ulnar artery superficial to the flexor retinaculum. The flexor retinaculum was previously known as the transverse carpal ligament. While traveling superficial to the flexor retinaculum, the ulnar nerve and the ulnar artery pass through the Guyon's canal, which is formed by the pisohamate ligament, which is formed by the pisiform and the hamate carpal bone. After traversing through the Guyon's canal and the flexor retinaculum, the ulnar nerve along with the ulnar artery will enter the region of hand. Here, the ulnar nerve will give off two branches, that is the superficial branch and the deep branch. The superficial branch of the ulnar nerve has a short course since it supplies only the palmaris brevis muscle. An important point to note about the palmaris brevis is that it is present in the hypothenar region, that is the region of metacarpal near the little finger, but is not included within the hypothenar compartment. So both the palmaris brevis and the hypothenar muscles should not be confused. So we can also say that the superficial branch of ulnar nerve gives supply to only palmaris brevis in the hypothenar region, and rest all muscles of the hypothenar region are supplied by the deep branch of ulnar nerve. The easy way to remember the hypothenar muscles is by the mnemonic O, A, F, which is similar to that in the case of thenar muscles. That is, O stands for opponens digiti minimi, A stands for abductor digiti minimi, and F stands for flexor digiti minimi. Apart from the hypothenar compartment, the deep branch of ulnar nerve also supplies the L3 and L4 lumbricals, which are highlighted in yellow. Further, they will also give their supply to the thenar compartment muscles, which again have the same mnemonic, that is O, A, and F. And additionally, we have the adductor pollicis brevis for the thumb. Here O stands for opponens pollicis brevis, A stands for abductor pollicis brevis, and F stands for flexor pollicis brevis. Apart from these muscles, we also have the intraossei muscle supplied by the deep branch of ulnar nerve, and we have two compartments for the intraossei muscles, that are the palmar intraossei and the dorsal intraossei. The function of the palmar intraossei is adduction, whereas that of dorsal intraossei is abduction. So the importance of intraossei muscles are in the adduction and the abduction movement of the fingers. The mnemonic for remembering it is PAD and DAB, where P stands for palmar and AD stands for adduction. Similarly, D stands for dorsal and AB stands for abduction. Now let us take a look at the palmar intraossei muscles and the dorsal intraossei muscles. The palmar intraossei muscles are single unipennate muscle fibers which are present sometimes 3 and sometimes 4 in number. So usually we have the palmar intraossei present near the little finger, the ring finger, and the index finger, whereas in case of dorsal intraossei we have 4 dorsal intraossei, that is, first originating between the thumb and the index finger, the second between the index and the middle finger, the third between the middle finger and the ring finger, and the fourth between the ring finger and the little finger. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe. If you're new here, press the bell icon so that you will get notified about our latest upcoming videos. Thank you.